Welcome to another episode of the brand called You, a video and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Today, I'm privileged to have a very accomplished networker, a very accomplished entrepreneur, Shaan Khanna, with me. Shaan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really my pleasure to be here, and I've been watching all your shows. They're fabulous.
Thank you, Shaan. Shaan is the founder of Networking Now India, and she's also the founder of Spicy Sangria events. So, Shaan, tell me, what would you say are three key milestones in your life or your career?
Okay, that's a tough one. But I think to start off with, I started working at 15.
Wow.
I started very early. So that's one major milestone, having my parents encourage that with me. I started as a handbag designer while I was in school. So that's one.
Okay.
Two would be when I decided to work with my mom. I'd call that a milestone because that was a change. That's when my career really changed.
Mm-hmm.
I got interested in doing events, and my mom's been doing events for 25 years. So when I joined her, it was really fun. And since then, we've been co-founders of Spicy Sangria events. That was something that changed my perspective about life, and more than doing a job, I learned on the job. So I think that experience. And of course, the last milestone would be when I started Networking Now, which is a networking platform. Out of a whim, I just started a Facebook group, and today we have 50,000 people. So I think that's a huge milestone as well.
Fantastic. So, Shaan, let's talk about networking now. Tell me about this venture and what are your objectives?
Sure. So, I started Networking Now because I'm a kind of person that loves to connect people. I'm very big on believing that it's your network which really gets you where you are. And I don't mean that in a way of using your network.
Correct.
I mean that in a give and take and a helping each other. So that's when I decided, I said, listen, my friends are calling me 24/7. Where do I get this? Get me the best deal on this caterer. Help me with this. And I was like, I can't pick up the phone anymore. Let me start a Facebook group. And that's when Networking Now began. We started with 10 people, and it was by invite only. People could invite people, and people who are friends of mine could join. Today we had 50,000, and we're a subscription platform. So we basically charge a nominal fee of 2,000 a year. They get access to Facebook, our WhatsApp groups, and of course our events. And it's just a way to help entrepreneurs connect with each other, because very often we get duped by if you're working on a project, you get duped by a photographer or you pay too much. So I think this is a way to get good feedback.
Fantastic. But tell me, you have a separate group only for women. My question to you is that why is there a need for a separate women for entrepreneurs and separate for women, etc., in an interconnected world?
Actually, I'm not. I mean, I want to correct you here because I'm not big on separating women in anything. There are a lot of women oriented groups, and women run only for women, but that's not me. There are some events that I do which only women can attend. Reason being because I think you're more comfortable in a setting when it's just women around. If I'm talking to a gynecologist or I'm talking to somebody about women-related illnesses, I've noticed that you won't open up so much, obviously, when there's men around. So we do events, women-oriented, often. Like in March, just before the lockdown, I had a women-only event, and I had 2 women speakers. Revati Roy spoke there, and I think that connect is something that you do only when women are around. But having said that, I'm not very big on just doing women, because in today's world, we have to support each other.
Correct.
And what both men and women can bring to the table can help either.
So tell me, you did mention that, networking is important. Help me understand, for all the thousands of people who listen to you speaking, is why is networking important for me first professionally and personally?
Yeah, sure. Networking, when people think about it, they think about it in such a negative connotation. They're like, oh, this person is so networked. This person knows everybody. And I don't look at it like that. When I look at networking, I just think of the value someone brings to the table and how he and me or she and me can really help each other. So when I talk about network, and I say this before we start any event of ours, guys, you're here to network, but you're here to give and take. So don't expect to go to a networking event and just take 100 business cards and think that they'll give you business, I truly believe if you don't give as well, there isn't going to be anything that's coming your way. Now, why someone needs to network? So I'm very passionate about helping small businesses, right? And I think small businesses don't have very big budgets when they start out. But if you have the right network, you can really get the word out there about what you do.
Correct.
So like I say, tap into your first network, which is easier, and then you build your second network. So it's beneficial.
Okay. And personally?
Personally, I think it's great to, like, I'm a huge believer of not only having, your friends that are your college or your school. It's nice because you learn so much. There's so much that I do with people that I've met through work, which is different. I may want to attend a talk. I want to do something different. So it's great to have a network more than just your friendships. I think it's important, really.
Okay. So tell me, you are a networking guru, and, you got this networking now enterprise, venture as well. How can one network better? You did mention you got to give and take, but
Yeah.
what goes into building a good network?
I think there are a few things that I think of all the time when I think of good networking. One would be not being very pushy. I think that's some people need to realize when they think of networking, they think of really pushing and hounding someone else. Please don't do that. That's a complete no-no. Better networking, attend events, do your research. I think people just go to any and every event thinking they're going to make contacts, right? Some are good, some don't work, and you've got to go with the attitude that every event will not yield 100 business contacts, right? You might make that one great business contact which could get you what you really need. So definitely attending events, being very active. I think you can't ignore social media in today's day and age. You can't ignore being on LinkedIn. You can't ignore actually being social. When I say social, I mean attending a few things. And, I realize that people go to parties and think that that's networking. No, that's a personal space. You have to attend formal networking events, make that time out, on a Saturday morning or a Saturday evening or a wine evening, and definitely talk to people. Don't be over pushy. I think that a lot of people tend to be like, hey, this is my business card, call me tomorrow, let's work together. Why didn't you call? You're getting no work if you do that. So I think building your network is easy if you really make that effort in the right way.
Okay. And my next question, Shaan, is that how important is social media in developing your network? I mean, I keep reading articles and keep talking to young people, and the only thing they're interested in is how many likes they have.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, actually. I would say social media is very important in terms of networking. I'm not a big believer of likes and followers because I think that you could have 5,000 likes and have more value than someone with 1 million. But I think that it is important because today putting your brand out there is really important, especially for small businesses, right? You can't invest in a website. You'd rather be on social media. And frankly, people are very responsive when it comes to social media.
Correct.
So today, if I do message someone on social media, there are chances they may reply. But if I WhatsApp them, they don't know me. Why have I reached out to them on their personal space? So I think when networking is concerned, social media, you must be on social media. And again, not on every form of social media, one or two, which suit your business or brand.
And for, from a business perspective, would LinkedIn be the most relevant social media platform?
Absolutely. I couldn't say it more. It's people associate LinkedIn with just jobs. It's not. I've made so many business contacts just by, personal messaging them on LinkedIn and being in touch. And the more active you are, the more reach and gains you get. So that's how it works.
Very interesting. So Shaan, tell me, in this world of social media, think of a young individual who's starting off on their life, soon after college, gets their first job, etc. How do they start to build their network?
Okay, very easy. I think I've done it, and that's when I look back and see my experiences. One, I was very lucky to have parents that, worked in fields very similar to mine. So I met a lot of people through them. But I think that's when you go out. I did about 6 internships through my college, and that really helped. I was that one child who didn't believe in getting 95%, but I believed in learning through work, right? And I've seen both my parents work. My mom's work still today. So I believe you really learn on the job. And the connects that you make very early on in your career are what will last with you, right? So during those internships, I'm still very much in touch with the people. I still work with them. They connect you to someone else. And one thing which I think we shy away from a lot, or people who've just graduated from college shy away from a lot, is asking. It's the simplest form of just getting to where you want to be. We shy away from just saying, hey, can you connect me to so and so? I mean, I'm not saying have a plan or an agenda, but meet people along the way and ask for what you're looking for. You never know where it will show up. But definitely jobs. I think that's the best way you can meet people, and just being very active and going out there.
So, when I was growing up, and I'm much older, I mean, after 42 years of working, when I was growing up and started work, when someone said, oh, this guy's a networker, it was seen as a negative. That means this guy's constantly going and, sucking up to his or her boss and whatever else.
Yeah.
When does too much networking become a problem?
You hit the nail on the head again. I think that it bugs me when people think of networking in a negative connotation. But I understand your question, because I think that when you do too much of it, so when you're that person that, even like I said, goes to a person's birthday party and starts dishing out your visiting card, that is pushing it. Sure. I think that you need to keep work where work is. Yes, of course, conversations always start with, hi, I'm so-and-so, what do you do? And you definitely mention what you do. But if someone wants to talk business, it should be done the next day. I don't believe in mixing parties with business, or like pleasure with business. But I think like I said, people who are pushy and too much, it gets you nowhere, right? So I think that you have to know networking events are different from a business. Also, I'm very wary of people that are part of too many business networks, right? People that are, I'm part of this and this and this, and I've tried this and I've gone to this conclave. You're just trying to meet any and everyone. Be very clear about why you're here and who you're meeting.
Well said. So now let's come back to networking now, India. What are some of the core values you believe in for your business?
I think I'm very clear that I'm here to connect. I'm not here to, just gain followers and gain. I'm here for people to grow with me. I feel very happy when small businesses or businesses grow with us and say, we met so-and-so and we did this much business this year because of you. So that makes me happy. In terms of values, I'd say I like meeting genuine entrepreneurs or genuine business people, not someone there just to take. I think that's a big one for me. But networking in a positive way.
Okay.
That's something.
And what would you say is your leadership style?
Easy. I'm a very easygoing. I delegate a lot, but I expect a lot too, which is a negative, but I expect a lot too. Okay. I think because I'm a person who's obsessed with my work, I expect the other person to be the same way.
To reciprocate, okay.
Yes.
My last question on networking before I move to the next segment is how are millennials, and you're probably a millennial yourself, how are millennials changing the way of networking? I mean, I find millennials, are minimalistic. They want to be on their own. How do they look at networking?
It's really funny that you asked this. I was chatting with my mom about this the other day. I was just telling her how back in the day, you had play dates when you were a child with your parents' friends, kids, right?
Correct.
Today, we are part of different forums, different groups, different kids' schools. There's a mommy club, there's a kids' club. This in itself is also networking in a way, right? And I think that today, we make a bigger effort to network. So, yes, we spend a lot of time on social media. But I think that today's millennials also spend a lot of time meeting a whole lot of new people. That thing of meeting new people has become a big one.
Okay.
So I think you're not restricted just your 10 friends who make you meet 5 more. Today you're willing to be part of 10 different groups, a mommy group, a playdate group, a book club, which is virtually. Today, in the terms of Zoom, you could be part of a book club which is in London.
Correct.
So I think we make more of an effort, and digitally it's helped our generation a lot.
Wonderful. So let's talk about your next venture, which is Spicy Sangria Events. Tell me about this venture.
Sure. So Spicy Sangria Events is something I started very early on. I wanted it to be a blog, but I realized that I'm not a very blogger type person. So I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't keep up with that. But
Mm-hmm.
my mom's been into events for, like I said, 25, 30 years, and she's launched some of the biggest luxury labels in the country. So
Mm-hmm.
we decided to bring, fashion and lifestyle under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that, giving fashion designers or women that work from home an opportunity to showcase under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring together luxury, lifestyle, fashion, and we go all over India, Singapore, and Dubai with
Mm-hmm.
this show. And about 11 shows happen a year.
Okay. Okay. And do you do a lot of shows in India as well?
Yes, all over. We do Nagpur, Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi. We're starting now. We've done Raipur. So a lot of new places. I believe in tapping into two-tier cities, and also just bringing you what you can't get everywhere.
So are these what luxury products that you bring into India and then launch them at these events, is it?
No, so it's a lot of women that probably work from home but don't have the bandwidth to market themselves on a larger scale. But they do beautiful work, budgeted work, and stuff for weddings, stuff for gifting and celebration. So we bring them under one roof to kind of help. It's like a trade show.
I see. So therefore, if there are entrepreneurs who are in the wedding segment,
Yes,
they can then come and participate in that show and get exposure to a much larger audience.
absolutely. So anywhere from clothing to food to gifting to accessories.
So then my logical next question is that how has the pandemic affected this business?
Greatly, actually. This business is currently on a complete hold. Networking now is a lot more active currently. But Spicy Sangria, hopefully by maybe Jan or Feb next year, we can restart.
back.
Yeah.
But you can't think of doing spicy sangria online.
We can. I'm not a very big online person in terms of shopping because I think a lot of the women that attend our events want to touch and feel. So I'm okay taking that risk and waiting till Jan or Feb.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to come to this last segment of our conversation, which are some questions for you personally. My first question is that, started working at 15 years, running a successful business, there's so much exciting things seems to be happening in your life. What does success mean to Shaan?
I think success to me is genuinely being happy and being sleeping at night happy. I don't like stress. I'm not a person who works well under stress. And success to me means when I can grow with somebody else. If I've helped somebody else as well, for me, that's success.
Okay. And therefore, my logical next question is where do you draw your inspiration from?
My mom. She's a huge inspiration to me. I think she started working very early on when she lost her dad at 16. And she's 64 and still working every single day on the move. So I think I definitely started working early and draw all my inspiration from her.
Okay. She's the same age as me then. I'm also 64.
Okay.
So, let me come to the next question, which is a question on failure. I've often said this, and I have a new book coming out on failure in March, published by Bloomsbury. As Indian parents, we have never told our children it's okay to fail. And that manifests itself in our behavior patterns. So everyone wants to be first, etc., etc. Yet we keep failing all the time and learning.
Yeah.
My question to you, Shaan, is that what has been your biggest learning from some of your mistakes or your failures?
I think that exactly what you said, it's okay to fail. And I don't think we give ourselves that chance. Like you said, today's generation doesn't know what it is to fail.
Correct.
The minute we fail, it's like depression and oh my God, but it's not such a big deal. Every episode is a learning. And for me, that is the biggest learning, that every situation comes into your life for you to step up and learn from. And when you thrive from that situation is when I feel you're successful.
Okay. So we have time for two more questions for you.
Yes.
My next question is that and you're in such exciting businesses, networking, events. What are some of the most exciting and challenging aspects of your work?
Lots of challenging aspects. I think is one, managing a very large team for me. That is one of my biggest challenges. Exciting would be I'm always on the move. I think I'm a person who loves to discover new things. So I love discovering new businesses, and every day something comes my way, thankfully. But challenging would be that, like you said, the tide turns anytime, right? So right now, Spicy Sangria is 0, but I know we'll be back. So I think I have to accept that the first month I was really distraught. I was like, oh my God, our business is going to close. But I think you really learn And I feel the more challenges come your way, the more you're given a chance to step up. So
Wonderful.
I think it's fine.
Wonderful. And my last question, again, based on all your experience as a young entrepreneur, this would be for the thousands of people who will listen to you speaking. What would your advice be to a young entrepreneur starting off on their life?
My biggest advice would be, please ask. Just ask any and everything. Ask the questions. Ask people for help. Talk to your parents if if they want you to be a doctor and you want to be a photographer. Have that conversation, and please keep trying. Failure happens. Failure happens to everyone. You're not the only one. Also, I really think that to be an entrepreneur, you need that determination and grit, because if you're starting out on your own, your salary is not coming, you don't know where your money is coming from monthly. So please hang in there and be smart about whatever business you're doing. I think for me, the biggest advantage is I've been able to ask questions, learn from leaders in the business, and take that opportunity.
Fantastic. Shaan, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you. I wish Networking Now and Spicy Sangria lots and lots of success. And of course,
Thank you
lots
so
of
much.
success.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
Thank
great
you.
being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.